Alright, here's another one. Sorry guys, I'm actually wearing a headset so you guys can probably hear me a little bit better. So Rule 101 of vending machines. You know, everybody's going in, they're like, I'm gonna make millions, I'm gonna be rich. And I've repeated myself many times over and over again on this subject. And I've said this many times before, although I don't think that people still seem to understand it. So I'm going to make this like real short and brief, as brief as I can, because I don't want to roll into any other subject other than this. Okay? So the first question is, how much will I make? Like, how much does the machine make? How much will I make? How much could it make? How much will it make? And that's not something that you can answer on any question. It's like buying a boatload of Maseratis and saying that they're going to sell. You don't know if they're going to sell. You may buy 20, you may sell 15, you're not going to sell the other 5. You don't know. You may sell the 5, you may not sell the 15. You don't know. It's just a given. When it comes to a vending machine, you can't predict how much the machine will make. There's absolutely no way to predict it, because you can have the biggest place of them all, and that's like rich. You know, it's like the bomb, like the shit. You know, it's like it's the best spot in the world, and it'll make you zero. Versus like a hole in the wall, you know, which is going to make you freaking 10 times more. That's not something you can predict. That's not something you can assume from any business. You don't know if you're going to buy your stock and you're going to sell an X amount of it. You don't know that. All you do know is once you pass over an X amount, that means you covered your costs, and then you've made some money on it, and then the remainder is usually you don't care for it. In the vending business, it's a little bit different. It's you bought your stock, okay, and you continue to sell it. It never stops selling. Like, this is a product that we can't change a freaking gumball. We cannot change a pack of chips. We can change the way the pack of chips looks, or we can change the way a piece of gumball looks by changing the color of it. But in all reality, gumball is always going to be gumball, and a pack of chips is always going to be a pack of chips. You know, we can make them bigger, you can make them smaller, you can ounce it there, quarter ounce it there, whatever, however you want to do it. In reality, it's like a pie. No matter how many slices you cut the pie into, it's always going to be a pie. Okay? It's going to be a pizza pie is a pizza pie. No matter how you cut it, no matter how many pieces you take it to, no matter how you do whatever you do, it's still going to be a pizza pie, no matter what, right? And we know that pizza sells. We don't know how much of it sells. You know, the pizza shop can make 20 or 40 trays for the day, and say if they make 40, they only sell 30. Well, that's okay, because they have 10 more for tomorrow. They make another 40 for tomorrow. They know they're gonna have 10 more left over. But they make another 40, which means they're gonna have 2 left over, right? So now the next day when they make another 40, well, guess what? They're gonna have 3 trays left over. And on the 4th day, when they make that 40, they know that they're gonna have 4 trays left over, right? So that means on the 5th day, they don't make any dough, right? They don't make any dough because they know it's gonna sell. And they'll make maybe a little bit more, because on the 5th day, what they're going to do is either one, they'll make 4 more trays and they won't touch them till the next day, or they might run into it. It might get busy. You never know. But you never know how much a certain thing it will sell. I know that when I go to a gumball machine, that I can sell. I know that just one head of candy. Okay, you could do anywhere from $60 and up. So I know if that head is empty, I know I have $60+ in down below. Guaranteed I have $60 or more in quarters. But that's not something you can assume. You see the machine is half empty, well, you assume that you have $30 in the machine. You see the whole head is empty, you know that you have at least $60 plus in the machine. You know, but you cannot, it's not something you can assume. You cannot predict how much a machine will make, because we don't know that the people that we're selling the product to, we don't know who they are. So today could be mostly black community. Tomorrow could be mostly Chinese. The next day could be mostly Pakistani. The next day could be Russian. The next day could be something else. And every day it changes. So it's not something we can predict. We don't know who's going to come in and buy them. We just don't. It's not something we can tell you. So when somebody asks me, yo, how much that location make? I'm going to be like, well, it varies from this number to this number. I cannot give you the exact number, but you have a high number and you have a low number. You, as the person who is supposedly wanting to buy a location from me, is receiving this answer. You, as the educated consumer or buyer, you should already know that, hey, if I'm telling you between 60 and 100, well, you know that you have a $40 in between. Just go in between that number. You know that you're going to be making about $80 off of that machine. Okay, you're not going to make 100, but you know you're not going to make 60. But you're going to make more than that, but you're not going to make more than 100. You know, if you get lucky, sometimes you'll make more. You know, but you'll never know. You'll never know what you're going to make. You know, you just never know. But at the same time, you cannot assume or predict a sale that has not yet occurred. You know, when I get to the machine, I'll count it up. Okay, we had 400 gumballs in the machine. 400 gumballs, we have 400 quarters. Well, that's equivalent to $100. Super, I made $100. Super, you know, versus I just topped it off. It was 3/4 full. I topped it off, so I made about $25 from the machine. That's okay too. You know, but this is the part where people want to be lazy on this thing. They're like, well, how much can I make? And they're like, well, if I tell them $40, they're not going to be like, nah, $40 is a piece of shit. I said $40 times 10, and all you got to do is drive by. That's $400 in your pocket, buddy, for the day. You tell me where you're going to make $400 for the day in clean cash. You're not. You're probably not. And you won't. You never will. And they're always skeptical about these numbers and stuff. And I'm like, listen, you have to understand how this business works. And it doesn't work like a normal traditional business where you buy at 30%, you buy at 20%, and then you upper to say 30%. So that 10% is your profit margin. In this business, you buy it at 10% and you sell it at 100%, which means you have a 90% profit margin, which is totally different. But because you have that large profit margin, it doesn't sell so quick. So even though we're selling it at 25 cents, I understand. But this is why we don't sell it so quick, because it's such a large profit margin. And now the cost is going up, so now my gumballs are going to be going to 50 cents. So now instead of getting 100 vends, which means 100 gumballs, which means I'll make $100, I will get 50 vends, which is still 100 quarters, which is I'm sorry, correction. I will still get 400 vends, 400 quarters, but I will not sell 400 gumballs for that. I will sell 200 gumballs for that, and I will be doubling. I will be basically making double on the product versus selling 2 boxes of gumballs. I will be selling 1 box of gumball for the same price. And that's basically what it is. I just want you guys to understand what it is. If you have any questions or concerns, anything, feel free. Listen, you could always reach out to me. My number is everywhere. Okay, just Google me, New York Candyman. Just Google me. Okay, I'm not the best, but I am the best at what I do. There's two different things. Don't get them twisted. Okay, just because I'm not the best doesn't mean I suck. doesn't mean I'm the shit. I am the shit at what I do. I know what I do and how I do it. My views may be different than yours. That's for you to decide. You know, that's not for anyone else to say. But that's what it is. You know what I mean? You can't assume that you're going to make an X amount of money. You buy this product that you're going to sell it. No, with this business, it's if you don't sell it today, it won't expire. There's a 2-year expiration date on these things. You got 2 whole years to sell this stuff. 2 whole years. Even if you back up. Look, a box of gumballs goes really quick. I go through about 10 boxes a week. That's about $2,000 a month, $2,000 a week. In pure profit. That's nothing crazy. So you can assume that I make about $8,000 a month. Okay, that's what I'm not telling you my real numbers, but let's say I'm assuming that I sell 10 boxes a week. Okay, 10 boxes a week at $200 a box. That's $2,000. That's okay. That's per week. Now you have to subtract a commission that I'm giving to the stores. Let's say about 30%. So that's about what? Out of $100, out of $1,000, 30% would be $300. So my profit, my take-home profit, is $1,400 from those 10 boxes. Okay, so $1,400 profit. Multiply that by 4. What do we have? 28. We have $5,600 clean after expense profit. $5,600. You know how many hours I work for that? I work maybe like, I don't know, 20 hours a week. I don't know. You're not making that kind of money. So when I tell people that my business makes an X amount of money, they're like, nah, that can't be real. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. The problem is they're so used to the generic way of making money that they don't understand any other way of making money. They're not understanding the principle of, would you like a full cup of water today, or would you like a drop of water every day for the rest of your life? They don't understand that principle. And even though some people say they do, they really don't. And this is a very, very big problem. And the fact that there is a big problem on that is a huge, huge, huge problem. Until the person begins to understand this principle of the vending machines, you're not... There's nothing I can teach you. There's nothing I can tell you until you understand how this business works. There's absolutely nothing I could tell you to turn your head around to make you think any other way. Because you're stuck on buy at 10%, sell at 20%. Buy at 50%, sell at 60%. That's what you're used to. And if you buy at 10%, you sell at 20%, and then you have 10% left over, well then you're okay. That's scrap. In the vending business, there's no scraps. Every piece of gum sells. Every box that I have sells. Every single box that I bought since, when did I start? Since 2010. Okay, every single box. I might have lost maybe 10, 20 boxes here and there, but that, you know, I make sure that everything sells. Okay, and then not counting the gum that I give away, that's another 40 to 50 boxes of gum that I give away. Let's say I give away about 10 boxes of gum every year. That's about $2,000 worth of profit I give away. Okay, maybe more. I don't know. I don't care how much I give away. I just give them, you know, and they're super happy to see me. They're ecstatic to see me. Right now, we are in July of 2025, and you know, I've been a little lazy. I admit, I'm not the best. I do have other things going that I have been keeping up with, trying to keep up with, and there's been a lot of stuff going. And look, I'm a single man operation, and you know, so I don't have anybody to help me. I don't have anyone that's going to tell me how to, you know, to help me out. If I don't do it, nobody else will. And that's just another fact. That's a whole other story. Anyways, guys, I try to run it. I thought I was going to do it quick, but it's under 15 minutes. Thank you very much, guys. Again, how much will you make? Sky's the limit.